So today I'm going to be going over my 5 most worn niche fragrances for last month. As you guys know, I just did a 5 most worn designer fragrances, so today we're going to be covering the niche ones. And let's go ahead and jump right into it. Again, these aren't going to be in any particular order, they're just the ones that I reached for the most last month. And yeah, let's go and jump right into it. First one is Baccarat Rouge 540. You guys know how I love this scent. It's a very interesting scent, and it's one that took a while for me to really learn to appreciate it. When I first smelled it, it smelled like dentist gloves, and it was just weird. It really threw me off at first, but now I absolutely love this scent. There's just something so special about how this smells. I really enjoy it a lot. Despite how expensive it is, I still love it. I wear it a lot, and especially here where it's getting colder, with how strong this stuff is, it works great. This is the EDP, and I get stupid strong performance with this one. Lasts over 12 hours, projects extremely strongly with just 2 sprays, almost too much projection at times, so it's definitely strong. The extrait is also very good. It's got an almond note, which gives it a little bit more character, and I do kind of like the smell of the extrait better. It's just even more expensive than the EDP, so I don't have a bottle. But nonetheless, been wearing this one a lot, wore it a lot last month, which is why it's in this list. So this is the first one. Again, if you guys haven't checked this one out yet, I highly recommend you do. Definitely do not blind buy this because it is very expensive and it's definitely not for everyone. Some people compare it to like a cotton candy or like a sugary sweet type of smell. So it's definitely not for everyone. Definitely sample it first, but I highly recommend that you do get a sample of it because it is very good and it may end up blowing you away. Just don't judge it off the first wearing because it might put you off. So that is one of them. That is Baccarat Rouge 540. Next one, we have Manse Rouge. I always end up reaching for this one when it starts to get colder, even though in my opinion this is more of a spring and summer scent because of how fruity it is. It opens up really nicely like in summer evenings and cooler summer days. It works fantastic, but I always find myself reaching for this one once it starts to cool off, and that's just because it has a lot of depth and it's also very strong. It's got this sweet fruity type of scent with a lot of supporting wood, so it has a lot of depth, and again, it's a Mancera. It is extremely strong. So yeah, wore this one a lot last month and probably going to be wearing it quite a bit more as we get into winter because it just works really well in the winter. When I'm in the mood to wear something a little bit more fresh when it's cold outside, this is usually the one I'll go for because again, it has that depth, it has that performance where it pushes through the air really well, and it just smells really good in the cooler air, works really well. So Mancera Rouge, great one. Reached for it a lot last month, and I'm still going to be wearing it quite a bit this month and the following months. Here we go. Next we have Tom Ford Tobacco Oud. Some people may consider this a designer. In this case, I'm just going to classify it as a niche. You can go back and forth on what it really is, but when it comes to making these lists, you kind of have to make a decision for yourself. In this case, I'm just going to say it's a niche fragrance, and it smells like a niche fragrance. If you guys have smelled Tobacco Oud, you know what I'm talking about. This is another one. This is definitely not for everyone. This one, you really want to grab a sample of it first. Really wouldn't recommend you blind buying it because it's animalic, it's strong, it's thick, it's heavy. It's just not everyone's cup of tea. As the name implies, Tobacco Oud. Get a good amount of both of those notes. Those are the prominent notes in this. Personally, I really enjoy the scent a lot. I love that mixture, and for me it just works really well. Again, as it was getting colder last month, it was cutting through the air really well, and it just worked really well. I reached for it quite a bit. So Tobacco Oud, this is my 3rd one. Wore it a lot last month, probably going to continue to wear it into winter. I would say this is probably suited best for winter, even though I was wearing it in the fall. So again, this is another fantastic scent. Definitely recommend you get a sample of it. Wouldn't blind buy it, but I do think it is worth sampling because it is very good. That is Tobacco Oud. Coming to the 4th one, we have Royal Ode from Creed. This is great stuff right here, guys. So I've talked about Royal Ode in a few of my videos now. It's a very classy scent. This is definitely unlike a lot of Creed's other offerings. Normally Creed is doing fresh, light fragrances. but this one takes it in a little bit of a different direction with a lot of the woods. Now this is called Royal Ode. I personally don't get a whole lot of oud. It is there. I do get a little bit of it. I would not consider it an oud fragrance by any means. There isn't that much of it. Mainly it's cedar wood and some peppers and some spices. Very little bit of citrus, and again there's some oud as well. But I wouldn't consider it an oud fragrance. I would consider it more of just a cedar wood, a woody, spicy fragrance. But it is great stuff. Again, very classy. It just smells like a gentleman, and I really enjoyed wearing it a lot. Again, in the fall, it was cutting through the air nicely. This is one of the more decent performing creeds, which is nice for a change. So it did me great last month. Probably going to be wearing it a little bit in the upcoming month or two. I'm probably not going to wear this in the dead of winter, just because I don't think it's suited for that. I think it's suited for maybe slightly crisp days when it's a little bit cool, but I wouldn't say anything for when it's super cold. That's just my opinion. You can wear anything whenever you want. But it did great last month, wore it a lot last month. That is Royal Ode. And for the last one, another creed, we have Viking. You guys know my thoughts on Viking. I love the scent. It gets a ton of hate in the community. A lot of people like to rag on it. Again, I personally really enjoy it. If you can get a bottle for a good price, I think it's definitely worth it. And that's the main reason why it does get hated on, is because of the price. It is expensive. It's even more expensive than Aventus at retail price, and even on a lot of discounters and other places online, it is more expensive than Aventus. So I do see why it gets some hate in that regard. But the prices have been coming down. I've been seeing a lot of bottles pop up on Facebook for really pretty good prices, around the same price as Aventus, sometimes a little bit cheaper for a 100 ml testers, full presentation, whatever the case may be. They are popping up and they are getting cheaper. So I feel like that hate that they're getting just for the price can start to kind of go away now that the price is coming down. It's still expensive. It's still a creed priced fragrance, right? It's not cheap by any means, but it's not outrageous like it was when it first came out. And if you can get it for, $150, $160, $170 for a 100 ml bottle, even if you could get it for $200 even for 100 ml, I think it's worth it. Like I said, I picked mine up for I think like $150 for this 100 ml bottle, and worth every penny in my opinion. It's just so versatile. It's so easy to wear. It gets good reactions. It performs really good. Actually, surprisingly performs really good. It's just a great scent. Another reason why it gets hate is people compare it to Aventus. Again, it's nothing like Aventus. It's similar to Aventus in the fact that it's extremely versatile and it performs pretty good. Not as good as Aventus, but it still performs good. But in terms of scent alone, it's nothing like Aventus. So I think if people just drop everything, they stop trying to compare it to things it's not supposed to be, and they stop, judging it on the price that it was when it first came out, I think it would be fine. Because look, any new fragrance that comes out is going to be expensive when it first comes out. But just give it some time. Like we've given it some time. It's been like, almost a year or so. And the prices are getting more reasonable. So if you haven't checked out Viking yet, I definitely recommend you do. I would recommend you get a sample first, just to kind of describe how it smells. I would say it's just like an Old Spice type of fragrance, but with a modern twist. And may sound kind of gross. You're probably like, ew, Old Spice, why would I want to smell like that? Just trust me on this one. It is very good. It's got a twist on it. It's got, that Creed type of DNA. It's just really good stuff. I will probably do a review on this one here coming soon, because I just realized I haven't done one yet. So I probably will review this one coming up. So if you are interested, definitely check out that review when it comes out. So there we have it. Those are my 5 most worn fragrances of last month of October. I do want to include one honorable mention here, and that is Aventus. I wear Aventus a lot, at least a few times a week. So I didn't really want to include it in the list, because if I do multiple of these lists, it would get kind of boring to see Aventus every single time. So when you see one of these lists, it's safe to say that Aventus was worn quite a bit. Again, I could have put it in the list, but I just didn't want to, because I'm always wearing it. It's always going to be in my most worn fragrances for the month, most likely. But I didn't want to include it. But just know Aventus did wear it a lot last month. I've worn it a lot this month already. So it is there. Just didn't want to include it because I didn't want to make it too, boring or predictable or whatever the case may be. Because there is no secret. I love Aventus. I wear it a lot. Have no shame in my game. Love the stuff, so I wear it. That's just how it is. So again, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you wore down below in the comments. I'd be curious to know. You could do your 5 most worn niche fragrances. You could do your 5 most worn designer fragrances. You could do both. You could do 10, whatever the case may be. I just really want to know what you guys have been wearing, however many fragrances it was. Let me know down below. I really want to know what you guys have been wearing, because I've been on a little bit of a buying freeze lately. I haven't been buying as much. I've been saving my money just a little bit. I just haven't really had too many fragrances on my radar. So again, let me know what you've been wearing, because I am going to be in the market to start picking up some new fragrances, specifically some winter fragrances, because we do have a cold winter coming up, and I really don't have too many super heavy winter fragrances. So like I said, I'm going to try to start picking some of those up. So please let me know down below what you've been wearing, and that would be great. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Again, if you liked it, please like the video, and also don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss my posts. And that's going to do it for me, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.